What if I told you that the idea of God is not just one simple image or belief, but a vast ocean of meaning, deep, complex, and alive? What if understanding God could change the way you see the world, yourself, and your place in this great universe? Today, we're diving deep into Hinduism's concept of God, a belief system that has shaped millions of lives for thousands of years, offering wisdom that transcends time and culture. This isn't about just learning facts. It's about awakening to a spiritual truth that has inspired devotion, transformation, and enlightenment. So I invite you to stay with me till the very end, because what you'll hear might just open your heart to something greater than you ever imagined. This is a journey worth taking, a journey to uncover the divine mystery woven into the very fabric of existence. Hinduism, one of the oldest spiritual traditions known to humanity, carries within it a vast and intricate understanding of God that stretches far beyond simple definitions. When we speak about God in Hinduism, we are not speaking about a single fixed image or a rigid concept. Instead, we encounter a rich tapestry woven with countless threads, each representing different ways humans have sought to connect with the divine throughout centuries. To truly grasp the Hindu concept of God, we must open our hearts and minds to the depth and diversity this tradition offers. At the foundation of Hindu thought lies the idea of Brahman, the ultimate reality that transcends all forms and names. Brahman is not a god in the way many of us might think, like a person or an idol to be worshipped. Brahman is infinite, timeless, and formless. It is the source of all that exists, the creator, the sustainer, and the dissolver of everything in the universe. It is everywhere and in everything, the very essence of life itself. This belief in an impersonal, all-encompassing reality sets Hinduism apart from many other faiths, and yet it also invites us to see God in a completely new light, not as an external being, but as the very fabric of existence. But Hinduism is not only about the abstract and formless, it also embraces the personal. This is where the concept of the Trimurti, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva comes into play. These three gods represent the cosmic functions of creation, preservation, and destruction, and they embody different aspects of the divine. To a Hindu devotee, these deities are not separate gods competing for attention. They are facets of the same ultimate reality, each reflecting a unique power and purpose in the eternal cycle of the universe. Through stories, rituals, and devotion, followers connect deeply with these forms, making the divine accessible and relatable. Moreover, Hinduism celebrates countless personal gods and goddesses like Krishna, Rama, Durga, and Lakshmi, among others. These deities are seen as avatars or manifestations of Brahman that come down to earth to guide, protect, and inspire humanity. Devotional worship, known as bhakti, is a vital part of the spiritual life for many Hindus. This path of love and surrender allows the devotee to build an intimate relationship with God, expressing their faith through prayer, music, and acts of service. It shows us that the divine can be approached not just through meditation on the infinite, but also through heartfelt connection. Another profound teaching within Hinduism is the concept of Atman, the inner self or soul. Hindu philosophy teaches that this Atman is not separate from Brahman, but is indeed identical to it. The journey of life, then, is to realize this truth, that the divine spark within us is the same eternal reality that permeates the universe. This realization brings liberation, peace, and ultimate enlightenment, freedom from suffering and the cycle of birth and death. Understanding the concept of God in Hinduism is to embrace complexity and mystery. It is a reminder that the divine cannot be boxed into a single form or name. Instead, God is the one reality expressed in countless ways to meet the needs of human hearts seeking meaning, love, and truth. Hinduism invites us to see God as both the vast universe and the quiet soul within, guiding us toward a deeper connection with life itself. In the end, the Hindu concept of God teaches us humility and awe, that the divine is greater than anything we can imagine, yet intimately present in every moment of our existence. It challenges us to open our minds and hearts, to embrace the infinite with reverence, and to seek the sacred not only outside but within ourselves. This is the beauty and power of Hinduism's timeless vision of God. Hinduism stands as a spiritual tradition unlike any other, embracing a diversity of beliefs and practices that reflect the vastness of human experience. One of the most fascinating aspects of Hinduism is how it understands God, not as a single fixed entity, but as a multifaceted reality that can be experienced and expressed in countless ways. To truly appreciate this, we must look deeper into the philosophical and theological richness that Hinduism offers, a richness that invites every seeker to find their own path to the divine. At the heart of Hindu thought is the concept of Brahman, the ultimate, formless reality that underlies all existence. Brahman is infinite and eternal, beyond the reach of human perception or description. It is not confined to any shape or personality. Instead, it is the essence that connects everything in the universe. Think of Brahman as the ocean, vast, boundless, and all-encompassing, while individual gods and goddesses are like the waves rising from that ocean, each unique but inseparable from the whole. This profound idea challenges us to expand our understanding of God beyond the limits of form and image. But Hinduism also recognizes the human need for personal connection. This is where the concept of deities like Vishnu, Shiva, and Devi comes alive. These gods and goddesses represent different aspects of the divine and allow devotees to relate to God in personal, tangible ways. Vishnu, the protector, Shiva, the transformer, and Devi, the divine mother, each embodies qualities that resonate deeply with the hearts of worshipers. These figures are not separate from Brahman, but are seen as manifestations or expressions of the one supreme reality. Their stories, symbols, and rituals form a bridge between the infinite and the finite, offering a path for love, devotion, and guidance. The Trimurti, or the threefold manifestation of the divine as creator, preserver, and destroyer, highlights the cyclical nature of existence in Hindu thought. It teaches that life is a continuous flow of creation, maintenance, and transformation. This understanding brings a spiritual rhythm to life, encouraging acceptance of change and growth as part of the divine plan. It's a reminder that destruction is not just an end, but a necessary step toward renewal and rebirth. Beyond these cosmic forms, Hinduism emphasizes the personal journey toward realizing the Atman, the individual soul. The Atman is not separate from Brahman. It is the divine spark within each of us. The spiritual quest in Hinduism is often about recognizing this unity, understanding that our innermost self is one with the universal reality. This realization brings liberation, known as Moksha, freeing the soul from the cycle of birth and death. It's a deeply empowering message that places the divine not outside us, but within, accessible through self-awareness and spiritual practice. Through these varied concepts, Hinduism invites us to explore God in many dimensions: philosophical, personal, symbolic, and experiential. It teaches tolerance for different beliefs and encourages seekers to find their own truth while reminding us that all paths ultimately lead to the same supreme reality. This openness is one of Hinduism's greatest strengths, offering a profound spiritual wisdom that can resonate with people from all walks of life. In this rich tradition, God is not just a distant deity, but a living presence, present in the cosmos, in sacred stories, in the idols worshipped in temples, and most importantly, in the soul of every individual. To understand Hinduism's concept of God is to embark on a journey that transcends dogma, opening the door to a universe of divine possibility and personal transformation. Hinduism offers a unique and profound perspective on the concept of God that beautifully balances the infinite with the personal. Unlike many religious traditions that define God in strictly singular terms, Hinduism embraces a rich spectrum of divine expressions, recognizing that the human spirit connects with the sacred in many different ways. This flexibility and depth allow the tradition to speak to a vast range of seekers, each finding their own path within its timeless wisdom. At the core of Hindu belief is Brahman, the ultimate formless reality that transcends all names and forms. Brahman is not just another deity, it is the foundation of all existence, eternal, infinite, and beyond human comprehension. It is the silent presence behind every breath, the unseen essence in every living thing. Brahman challenges us to think beyond concrete images and to experience God as an all-encompassing reality that is both immanent and transcendent. Yet Hinduism also understands the human need to relate to God in a more tangible way. This is why it presents a vast pantheon of deities, each representing different facets of the divine. The Trimurti, Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, and Shiva the destroyer, symbolize the cosmic cycles of birth, life, and transformation. These figures are not separate gods, but different faces of the same ultimate reality, helping devotees connect with the divine through stories, rituals, and personal devotion. Beyond the Trimurti, Hinduism offers an array of goddesses and gods like Lakshmi, Saraswati, Durga, and Krishna, each embodying unique qualities and teachings. These deities serve as accessible forms of the divine, inviting followers into a relationship of love, surrender, and spiritual growth. The path of bhakti or devotion becomes a bridge between the infinite Brahman and the individual soul, allowing for intimate communion with God. The remarkable aspect of Hindu philosophy is the teaching of Atman, the inner self or soul. Atman is not distinct from Brahman, but is in fact identical to it. The realization that Atman is Brahman forms the heart of Hindu spirituality, offering a profound message that the divine is not only out there, but lives within each one of us. This recognition brings liberation and peace, freeing the soul from the endless cycle of rebirth and suffering. Hinduism's concept of God encourages humility, awe, and personal exploration. It invites us to accept that the divine mystery cannot be confined to a single image or idea, but is vast and multifaceted. Through its teachings, we learn that the sacred is present in every form, every story, every ritual, and most importantly, within ourselves. In embracing this expansive view, Hinduism teaches tolerance and understanding, not only within its own diverse community, but toward all paths seeking truth. It is a reminder that spirituality is not about rigid dogma, but about awakening to the divine presence that permeates all existence. This is the beauty and power of Hinduism's vision of God, a vision that can inspire every seeker to explore the infinite within and beyond. Hinduism's concept of God is a profound exploration of the divine that goes beyond simple definitions and embraces a rich, multidimensional understanding of the sacred. Unlike many traditions that present God in a singular, fixed form, Hinduism offers a vast spiritual landscape where God is experienced as both the infinite and the personal, the formless and the manifest. This duality invites seekers to engage with the divine in a way that resonates deeply with their own hearts and minds, making Hinduism not just a religion, but a living, breathing journey of spiritual discovery. At the core of this understanding is Brahman, the ultimate, unchanging reality that transcends all material existence. Brahman is not a god in the anthropomorphic sense. It is the infinite source from which everything arises and to which everything returns. It is beyond time, space, and human comprehension. This concept challenges us to expand our understanding of God as not just a figure to be worshipped, but as the very essence of all that is. Brahman is the silent, all-encompassing presence that flows through the cosmos and dwells within every living being. It is the root of life and consciousness, an eternal energy that connects the entire universe in an inseparable web of existence. While Brahman is formless and beyond description, Hinduism also recognizes the need for personal connection and devotion. This is where the rich pantheon of gods and goddesses comes into focus, each representing different aspects of the divine and human experience. The Trimurti, Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, and Shiva the destroyer symbolize the cosmic functions that sustain the universe. These deities are not separate from Brahman, but are viewed as expressions of the one ultimate reality, manifesting in forms that help humans relate to and understand the divine. The diversity of Hindu deities goes further, with countless gods and goddesses like Krishna, Rama, Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati, each embodying unique qualities and virtues. Through bhakti, or devotional worship, followers cultivate a personal relationship with these manifestations of God, expressing love, gratitude, and surrender. This path of devotion is deeply transformative, offering a way for individuals to experience the divine intimately and personally. Another cornerstone of Hindu spirituality is the concept of Atman, the individual soul or self, which is ultimately one with Brahman. This profound truth teaches that the divine is not only external, but also resides within each of us. The journey of life, according to Hinduism, is about realizing this unity, recognizing that our true self is not separate, but part of the eternal, infinite reality. This realization brings liberation, or moksha, freeing the soul from the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Hinduism's view of God encourages openness, humility, and reverence for mystery. It acknowledges that the divine transcends human understanding and cannot be confined to a single image or idea. This recognition fosters tolerance and respect for different spiritual paths, emphasizing that all sincere seekers ultimately reach the same divine truth. In embracing the Hindu concept of God, we are invited to look beyond dogma and rituals and to awaken to the sacred presence in every aspect of life, the vast universe, the natural world, and the deepest parts of our own souls. This holistic and profound vision offers a path to spiritual freedom, peace, and a deeper connection with the infinite source that sustains all existence. It is a call to explore the divine not only outside ourselves but within, transforming our understanding of God into a lived, vibrant reality. Hinduism's understanding of God is a vast and intricate tapestry woven with philosophical depth, spiritual insight, and devotional richness. It challenges us to think beyond the simple notions of divinity and opens the door to an expansive, nuanced view that embraces both the infinite and the personal, the formless and the manifest. This multidimensional approach to God is one of Hinduism's greatest gifts to the spiritual seeker, offering a framework that can accommodate diverse experiences of the sacred. At the very foundation of Hindu thought is the concept of Brahman, the ultimate reality that transcends all physical forms and mental concepts. Brahman is not a god in the usual sense. It is the infinite, eternal source of everything that exists. It is beyond time, space, and causality. Brahman is pure consciousness, the essence that underlies the entire cosmos, connecting every atom, every living being, every force of nature in an unbroken web of existence. To understand Brahman is to grasp the mystery of the universe itself, to see beyond the veil of appearances and recognize the unity that pervades all diversity. Yet Brahman remains beyond human comprehension because it has no form, no attributes, no limitations. It is described as nirguna, without qualities, and nirakara, formless. This abstract and transcendent nature of God can seem distant, even intimidating, but Hinduism also offers a way to experience the divine in personal and relatable forms, acknowledging the human heart's need for connection and intimacy. This is where the rich and vibrant pantheon of Hindu gods and goddesses comes into play. Hinduism recognizes that the divine can be experienced through many forms and stories, each reflecting different aspects of the cosmic truth. The Trimurtha, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva, the destroyer, symbolize the fundamental cycles of existence: creation, maintenance, and transformation. These three deities are not independent gods, but are understood as three facets of Brahman, each playing a crucial role in the cosmic order. Beyond the Trimurti, there is a multitude of other deities: Lakshmi, Saraswati, Durga, Krishna, Rama, each embodying specific divine qualities and values. Through bhakti or devotional worship, millions find a personal relationship with the divine, expressing their love, faith, and surrender. This personal devotion provides a tangible way to engage with God, making the infinite accessible and intimate. An equally profound teaching in Hinduism is the concept of Atman, the inner self or soul. The Atman is not separate from Brahman. In fact, the essence of Atman is Brahman itself. This means that the divine resides within every individual, and self-realization is about recognizing this eternal truth. The spiritual journey is about peeling away the illusions of separateness and ego to reveal the unity of the soul with the supreme reality. This realization is the ultimate goal, known as Moksha, liberation from the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, samsara. Hinduism's concept of God thus transcends the boundaries between the personal and the impersonal, the finite and the infinite. It invites seekers to understand divinity as both the source of all and the living presence within themselves. This dual vision enriches spiritual life, allowing for a deep philosophical inquiry alongside heartfelt devotion. Moreover, this understanding fosters a profound respect for diversity and spiritual expression. Hinduism teaches that all paths ultimately lead to the same truth. This inclusiveness encourages tolerance and openness, reminding us that no single image or doctrine can contain the whole of divine reality. Whether through meditation, rituals, stories, or community worship, each path is valid and valuable in the seeker's journey. In embracing Hinduism's vision of God, we are called to expand our hearts and minds, to see beyond superficial differences and connect with the divine essence that permeates everything. It is a call to awaken to the sacred in the universe and nature, in humanity, and most importantly, within ourselves. This is not merely an intellectual exercise, but a living experience that transforms how we relate to life, to each other, and to the mystery that sustains all existence. Hinduism's concept of God invites us into a journey of endless discovery, where faith meets reason, mystery meets clarity, and the infinite meets the intimate. It is a spiritual path that embraces the vastness of the cosmos and the depths of the human soul, inspiring us to live with reverence, compassion, and an unshakable connection to the divine reality that is the foundation of all things. In Hinduism, the concept of God is not confined to a singular, rigid definition, but is an expansive and dynamic vision that embraces both unity and diversity in the divine. This multifaceted understanding invites us to explore God as both the transcendent source of all existence and the immanent presence within each being. It challenges us to look beyond simple labels and to engage with a profound spiritual reality that is as vast as the cosmos itself and as intimate as the beating of our own heart. One of the most compelling aspects of Hinduism's view of God is its emphasis on the unity behind the multiplicity of forms and names. At the highest level of philosophical understanding is Brahman, the supreme formless reality that is beyond all attributes and descriptions. Brahman is not a deity in the way many think of God. It is the ultimate principle that underlies everything, the source from which all life, energy, and consciousness flow. It is eternal, infinite, and unchanging. Yet it is not distant or detached. Brahman is the very essence that animates every particle of the universe. This concept encourages us to realize that the divine is not just out there, but is the fundamental reality in which we all exist. However, Brahman's formlessness and transcendence can feel abstract or inaccessible to many. Recognizing this, Hinduism also presents the divine in countless forms through its pantheon of gods and goddesses. These deities, such as Vishnu, Shiva, Lakshmi, Durga, and Krishna, are not separate gods competing for worship, but different manifestations of the one supreme reality, tailored to human ways of understanding and relating to the divine. Each deity embodies particular qualities and cosmic functions, offering devotees pathways to connect with God through stories, symbols, and rituals. This approach acknowledges that spiritual truth can be approached in many ways, accommodating the diversity of human hearts and cultures. Another cornerstone of Hindu theology is the teaching of Atman, the individual soul, which is ultimately identical with Brahman. This profound truth invites every seeker to look within and recognize their own divine essence. It is not just about worshiping an external God, but awakening to the presence of God within oneself. This inner realization is the key to liberation, or moksha, freeing the soul from the cycle of birth and rebirth and uniting it forever with the divine source. Hinduism's concept of God also deeply honors the cyclical nature of existence. The divine is seen as a cosmic dance of creation, preservation, and destruction, symbolized by the Trimurti, Brahma the creator, Vishnu the preserver, and Shiva the destroyer. This cycle reflects the natural rhythms of life and teaches acceptance of change, transformation, and renewal as sacred processes. God is not static, but dynamically involved in the unfolding of the universe. This expansive vision of God naturally cultivates humility, tolerance, and spiritual freedom. It teaches that no single tradition, name, or form can exhaust the divine mystery, Instead, it invites seekers to explore, question, and find their own path toward truth and union with God. This openness has allowed Hinduism to embrace diverse philosophies, practices, and devotional paths, all leading toward the same ultimate reality. In embracing this view, Hinduism offers a profound spiritual message for our times, a call to recognize the sacred in every aspect of life, to honor the divine in all beings, and to realize the unity that connects us all. It is an invitation to awaken from the illusion of separateness and to live with the awareness that God is not somewhere far away, but here and now, within us and all around us. This understanding is not just theological, but practical. It inspires compassion, service, and a commitment to justice and harmony. It encourages us to see every person as a reflection of the divine and to act accordingly. The concept of God in Hinduism is a living truth that transforms how we relate to ourselves, to others, and to the world. Ultimately, Hinduism's vision of God is a call to journey inward and outward, to explore the infinite mystery within and to engage with the vast cosmos in reverence and love. It is a spiritual path that unites philosophy, devotion, and lived experience, guiding us toward a deeper understanding of life's greatest truth, that we are all expressions of one divine reality, interconnected and eternal. As we draw this profound exploration of the concept of God in Hinduism to a close, it's essential to reflect on the extraordinary spiritual depth and universal wisdom that this ancient tradition offers to humanity. Hinduism, with its vast spectrum of beliefs and practices, invites us not only to understand God intellectually, but to experience the divine as a living reality, an all-encompassing presence that permeates everything and everyone. This teaching challenges us to break free from narrow, limited views of spirituality and to embrace a holistic vision of life, where divinity is not distant or separate, but deeply intertwined with our very existence. At the heart of Hinduism lies the recognition of Brahman, the ultimate, formless, infinite reality that transcends human comprehension, yet forms the very foundation of all it is. This supreme truth is both immanent and transcendent. It exists beyond time, space, and attributes, yet dwells within every atom, every breath, every soul. Brahman reminds us that beyond all diversity and apparent separateness lies an unbroken unity, a sacred thread connecting all creation in an eternal embrace. This insight is a call to humility and awe, a reminder that the divine mystery is vast and unfathomable, inviting lifelong exploration and reverence. Yet Hinduism does not leave us stranded in the abstract. It also tenderly offers a myriad of personal and relatable forms of God through its rich pantheon. These forms are not contradictions, but manifestations of the one supreme reality, designed to meet the varied needs of human hearts. Whether through the compassionate gaze of Krishna, the fierce protection of Durga, or the transformative power of Shiva, devotees find pathways to love, surrender, and spiritual awakening. This beautiful multiplicity teaches us that God's essence is beyond any single image or name, that the sacred can be approached through countless doors, each leading to the same ultimate truth. The teaching of Atman, the divine self within each individual, further deepens this spiritual journey. Hinduism reveals that our true identity is not limited to the body, mind, or ego, but is one with Brahman itself. This realization of oneness liberates us from fear, ignorance, and division, offering the promise of moksha, freedom from the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. It is a powerful reminder that the divine is not only out there, but alive within us, waiting to be awakened through self-inquiry, devotion, and righteous living. Moreover, Hinduism's cosmic vision acknowledges the rhythms of life, the cycles of creation, preservation, and dissolution, reflecting the natural flow of existence itself. This dynamic interplay, symbolized by the Trimurti, teaches acceptance of change and transformation as sacred processes essential to spiritual growth. Life's challenges, endings, and new beginnings are seen not as obstacles, but as opportunities to deepen our connection with the divine and to participate in the ongoing dance of the universe. This expansive understanding fosters a spirit of tolerance and inclusivity. Hinduism recognizes that no single tradition holds a monopoly on spiritual truth. Instead, it encourages respect for diverse paths, seeing all sincere efforts to reach God as valid and valuable. This openness is especially vital in today's fragmented world, offering a model of peaceful coexistence and mutual respect. In embracing Hinduism's concept of God, we are invited to transform our lives, to cultivate compassion, humility, and an awareness of the sacred in every moment. It challenges us to see all beings as reflections of the divine and to live accordingly with kindness, justice, and love. This teaching is not just philosophical, but profoundly practical, guiding us toward a life of purpose, peace, and spiritual fulfillment. Ultimately, Hinduism offers us a spiritual journey that is as much about self-discovery as it is about understanding the universe. It calls us to awaken from the illusion of separation and to live in the truth of our divine nature. This awakening is a lifelong process, full of wonder, challenges, and profound joy. It invites us to be seekers, lovers, and servants of the sacred mystery that is the source of all life. May this timeless wisdom inspire us to walk our own paths with courage and devotion, to honor the divine in ourselves and others, and to embrace the infinite with open hearts, for in doing so we become living expressions of that one supreme reality, united, eternal, and whole.